Adings. List of headings. You are going to have some headings. Here we have 11 headings. And our job is to give headings to the different paragraphs. Look at the instruction here. Choose the correct heading for paragraphs A to E and G to I from the list of headings below. They've done paragraph F for us. Look at it. Paragraph F has been done. They have used statement number 7. So we cannot use this statement number 7 again. Okay? You can't use statement number 7 again. So what do? I will read the headings, highlight keywords. Okay? Long-term goal is a keyword for me here. Long-term is a keyword for me here. Charging for roads. Charging is a keyword for me here. Then hand. Improving other transport methods. Let me see. Improving other transport methods is a keyword also here. Changes affecting the distances goods may be transported. Distances goods. Distance is a keyword for me here. Let me just pick distances alone. Taking all the steps necessary to change transport patterns. Transport patterns is a keyword for me here. Environmental costs. So cost is a keyword here. Let's add environmental to it. It sounds like a unique word. Escalating costs. Escalating. What is the meaning of escalating? Who can tell me? Escalating costs of rail transport. Who knows the meaning of escalating? What is the meaning of escalating? The rapid growth of private transport. Private transport is a keyword for me here. Private transport. Private transport means different families own their cars. Thank you. Escalating means increase. That's correct. Increasing cost. Number 9, plans to develop major road networks. Plans is a keyword here. Plans. Then another keyword here is going to be major. Major road networks. Major road networks. Restricting. Somebody says, this thing you are doing, is it not taking time? Yeah, it's taking time, but it's not going to take as much time as if you did not highlight it. If you don't highlight it, it will be difficult to remember them. This thing, as I'm highlighting them, the thing is registering in my head. That's how this exam works. If you don't take the time to highlight those keywords and register them in your head, when you start reading the passage, you will not quickly recall those keywords, and it will be more difficult to pick the correct answers. Okay? Restricting road use. Restricting is a keyword for me here. Through charging policies. Remember, I saw one thing about charging policies. So I'm going to add alone here. Charging policies alone. There's one statement about charging. I think number 2, charging for roads. Can you see? My mind went straight to that because I already highlighted it. Can you see what I just said now? Transport trends in countries awaiting EU. EU is a keyword for me here. Can see it's a proper noun. Anytime you see a proper noun, just register it as a keyword. Then trends, transport trends is also a keyword. So ladies and gentlemen, I have highlighted my keywords. The next thing I'll do now is to read the passage paragraph by paragraph. Okay? So somebody says, can we highlight like this in the exam? Absolutely yes. You'll be able to highlight like this in the exam. Very, very. In fact, in the exam, I think there are 2 or 3 colors in the exam, sir. So you'll be able to highlight. This website has just one color. It is difficult to conceive of vigorous economic growth without an efficient transport system. Although modern information technologies can reduce the demand for physical transport by facilitating teleworking and teleservices, the requirement for transport continues to increase. There are 2 key factors behind this trend. For passenger transport, the determining factor is the spectacular growth in car use. Spectacular growth in car use. What does that sound like? Increase in private car. Car is private. Anytime you see car, that's private. Bus is public. Train is public. Car is private. The number of cars on European Union roads saw an increase. Where is that one about private car use? Rapid growth of private transport. So this number 7 can be matched to paragraph A. Hold on. No. Sorry, number 8. Number 8. Number 8 can be matched to paragraph A. Number 8 can be matched to paragraph A. Let me show you something here. This thing, where is it now? The requirements for transport continues to increase. Can you see that? The requirements for transport continues to increase. You see that statement now? Now, some people will say this statement. Some people will see this statement. That something is increasing. And then they will come and go and they will come and pick, what is it called now? There's one statement that sounds like that now. Maybe this one. The environmental cost of road transport. They will say, there's transport there. This one is also transport. Or maybe they will come and pick transport trends because they saw trend. Look at it now. There's trend there. They will not say because there's trend there, they will not come and pick transport trend. No, that's wrong. Any heading you pick, let me type out this rule. This is a rule I always give anytime I'm teaching matching heading question. Let me give you that rule. I want you to write it down. You can just take a snapshot. Okay? Any heading you pick for a paragraph must be fully supported by the majority of the sentences in that paragraph or by all the sentences in that paragraph. This is very, very important. Okay? Must be fully what? Fully supported. Fully supported means that what? All the keywords in that heading are supported. All the keywords in that heading. Not just one keyword. Not just 2 keywords. Not just 3 keywords. All the headings must be what? Must be supported for you to pick a particular heading for a word, for a paragraph. I hope you get my point. So keep that in mind anytime you are dealing with what? Anytime you are dealing with paragraph, matching paragraphs like this, matching headings. Okay, you can't pick number 9 because you saw trend. And then somebody say, okay, what of EU? Okay, is there admission? There's nothing like admission in this paragraph A. So you can't pick number 9, number 11. Number 11 is not fully supported. The only heading that is fully supported is number 8, the rapid growth. Look at it. Look at it. Spectacular growth. That's rapid. That's rapid. Rapid growth. In what? Private transport. Where's private transport here? Car use. Everything is fully supported. Let's go on. Paragraph B now. As far as goods transport is concerned, there's one heading about transport of goods. Look at it. Number 3, distance goods may be transported. Can you see? Can you see what I said earlier on about highlighting keywords? My mind went straight to it because I already registered it in my mind when I was painting all these things. If it's paper-based, how do we do it? You underline on your question paper. That's how the thing registers in your mind. Okay? So as far as goods transport is concerned, the growth is due to a large extent in changes in European economy and its system of production. In the last 20 years, as internal frontiers have been abolished, the EU has moved from a stock economy to a flow economy. This phenomenon has been emphasized by the relocation of some industries, particularly those which are labor-intensive, to reduce production costs, even though the production site is hundreds or even thousands of kilometers away from the final assembly plant. Can you see? Hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. That's what? That's distance. Distance. It now says changes affecting. Now, this part of changes affecting, is it here in this paragraph? It is there. Let me show you the changes affecting. Look at it. The EU has moved. What is meaning of moved? Changed from a stock economy to a what? Flow economy. Look at what they wrote here again. Changes in the European economy and its system of production. Can you see? So this paragraph fully supports what? Statement number 3. Changes affecting distances goods may be transported. So my answer to paragraph 2 is going to be what? Paragraph B is going to be statement number 3. Statement number 3. Okay? Paragraph C now. The strong economic growth expected in countries which are candidates for entry to the EU will also increase transport flows. Can you see this thing here? Candidates for entry to the EU. What does that sound like? EU admission. EU admission. Keywords. If you register those keywords before you start, by the time you start reading the passage, those things, it's like they will be jumping at you. That's how the thing works for me. And the more you practice this thing this way, the more you get used to it. And the easier it will get. Okay? So it says that what will also increase transport flows, in particular road haulage traffic. In 1998, some of these countries already exported more than twice their 1990 volumes. Can you see that? This thing says trends, transport trends in countries awaiting. So you see, they are talking about those countries. They are talking about transport trends in those countries. They are giving us figures. Although many candidate countries inherited a transport system which encourages rail, the distribution between the modes has tipped sharply in favor of road transport. Between 1998 and 1990 and 1998, road haulage increased. Can you see? Transport trends. Transport trends. That's it. So this number, paragraph C, is matched to statement number 9. I'm sorry, number 11. Number 11 is going to be paragraph C. Paragraph D now. However, a new imperative, sustainable development, offers an opportunity for adapting the EU's common transport policy. The objective agreed by the Gothenburg European Council has to be achieved by integrating environmental consideration into community policies, and shifting the balance between the modes of transport lies at the heart of this strategy. Hold on. Shifting the balance between the modes of transport lies at the heart of this strategy. The ambitious objective can only be fully achieved by 2020. Let me say something here. When this passage was written, it was written in maybe 19, when they gave it as a test for IELTS reading. This is Cambridge IELTS 10. If you look at the address bar of this website, this is Cambridge IELTS 10. This is a very, very old text. I think this was released in the 1990s or thereabout. Maybe 99 or 97. I can't remember now. I'm not sure yet. So when they wrote to see 2020, they are talking about the future. We have crossed 2020, but I want you to think like you are reading it in 1990 or 1995 or 1997. Okay, can only be fully achieved by 2020, but proposed measures are nonetheless a first essential step towards a sustainable transport system, which will ideally be in place in 30 years' time. That is by 2040. Okay, this means that this text was written in 2010. For them to have said 30 years time, that means this text was written in 2010. All right. So now this is pointing at a future plan. That's what I'm saying in this past paragraph. It's pointing at a future plan for sustainable development. Future plan. Oh, so which heading sounds like future plan? Which heading sounds like future plan? Anybody who wants to try? Which heading on this list sounds like future plan? I've seen my answer anyway. Let me see who wants to guess. Which heading in this list sounds like future plan? Anybody? Anybody who wants to try? Number 1, a fresh and important long-term goal. That's it. That's the answer. A fresh and important long-term goal. A new imperative. Imperative is sounding like important. It is important that you pass your IELTS test. It is imperative. Look at it. Imperative. Imperative. That's the word. Imperative sounds like what? Important. Important. So my answer to paragraph D is going to be statement number 1. It's going to be statement number 1. Then so let's move on to paragraph E now. Paragraph E. What do we have there? In 1998, energy consumption in the transport sector was to blame for 28% of emissions, a leading greenhouse gas. Okay. Let me bring out my highlighter here. Okay, a leading greenhouse gas. According to the latest estimate, if nothing is done to reverse the traffic growth trend, CO2 emissions from transport can be expected to increase by around 50% by 2020. Once again, road transport is the main culprit. So they are talking about CO2 emissions and then road transport contributing to it here. So let's look at the list of headings. CO2, ladies and gentlemen, CO2 emissions, anything greenhouse CO2 emissions is about environment. Number 5, environmental costs. Can you see that? Road transport, look at it here. Yeah, they said that what? Once again, road transport is the main culprit. So you see, the first part talks about what? Environmental issues. The other part talks about what? Road transport contributing to it. So this paragraph E can be matched to what? To statement number 5, environmental cost of what? Road transport. Statement number 5. Then G now. They've done F for horse. So we don't need to waste our time with F. Let's jump to G. The first approach would consist of focusing on road transport solely through pricing. What's pricing? You are charging people for using roads. That's pricing. We saw two headings pointed to charging or pricing. This option would not be accompanied by complementary measures in the other modes of transport. In the short term, it might curb the growth in the road transport through the better loading ratio of goods, vehicles, and occupancy rate of passenger vehicles expected as a result of the increase in the price of transport. However, the lack of measures available to revitalize other modes of transport will make it impossible for more sustainable modes of transport to take up the baton. Okay, so this where are those two? Number 2 says charging for roads and improving other transport methods. This one says restricting road use through charging policies alone. Did they talk about improving other transport methods in this paragraph G? They didn't talk about improving other transport. This person says that word. Lack of measures available to revitalize other modes of transport would make it impossible. Hi, this number says charging for roads and improving. If you charge for roads, people will not use roads. If you not improve other methods of transport, people will go and be using them. This paragraph is telling us that this number 2 is not the answer. Number 10 is better. Restricting road use through charging policies alone. Because if you look at the beginning now, the first approach will consist of focusing solely. This thing says solely. This means alone. So I'll go for number 10, Roman figure 10, X, Roman figure 10. Then paragraph H now. The second approach also concentrates on road transport pricing, but is accompanied by measures to increase efficiency. Now this one is, where's that statement number 1 and number 2? Charging for roads and improving. So you see, increase the efficiency of other modes of transport. So this number 2, that further shows that this number 2 is better match for another paragraph, which is H. You see, I didn't even read the entire paragraph. I don't need to waste my time. Last one. The third approach is not new. It comprises a series of measures ranging from pricing to revitalizing alternative modes of transport and targeting investments in trans-European network. This integrated approach would allow the market share of other modes to return to their 1998 levels and thus make a shift of balance. It is far more ambitious than it looks, bearing in mind the historical imbalance in favor of roads. So this is about balancing things. Which one have I not used? I've not used number 9. No, number 9 is not about developing major road networks. Number 9 is about encouraging the use of other things. I've used 1, I've used 2, I've used 3, I've not used 4, I've not used 4, and I've not used 6. So let me check 4 and 6. 4, taking all the steps necessary. Yeah. 6, escalating costs. No, 6 is not the answer. Number 4 is better. Number 4 is more appropriate for the last paragraph. So this is going to be number 4. Taking all the steps necessary. Taking all the steps necessary. Yes. Okay. Taking all the steps necessary. Somebody says number 7. We can't use number 7. They've already used number 7 for us. So you can't use number 7 again. So ladies and gentlemen, I've solved everything. Let's submit and see what my score will be. Let's see what my score will be. All correct. 8 over 8. Ladies and gentlemen, matching heading questions. Can you see the way we have dealt with it? Read the statements, highlight keywords. Okay? Let those keywords register in your mind and then go to the passage and take it paragraph by paragraph. You understand? So I'm going to wrap it up on that note for today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to share the link to this recording with you so that you can go through it again. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it into parts so that it's not going to look too long. So you can watch the one on matching statements in a separate recording. You watch the one on matching features in a separate recording, matching information in a separate recording, matching headings. This is one I just did now in a separate, like that. And then after watching each part, please take time to do lots of practices. I will share some links today. I will share links tomorrow. And then, over the next couple of days for the different question types. Do you understand now? So today, the question type I'm going to share with you, I'm going to be sharing matching heading questions. I'm going to share 10 links on matching heading questions. That will be your assignment for today. Then tomorrow, I'm going to share links on matching information. Next tomorrow, I'm going to share links on matching features. Then like that until we cover all the links. Hope you get my point. So thank you very much, everybody. Do enjoy the rest of your day.